Still tell them that I got you. Hey, I was facing death alone. Hey, nobody called my phone. I'm just like, God, do you hear me? Please forgive them, they don't know that they sinning. I'ma be a star, please believe me. Hey, dim the lights and you can see me. I'ma be a star, please believe me. Yeah. Hey, heart throbbing. I feel like pain is a life sentence. Gotta get up and keep going. Gotta get up and keep going.
Start off by saying that y'all need to thank him. Because of him, for those who don't know, my biological father actually passed away a couple of weeks ago. It's part of the reason why we ended up not doing much. And of course, these guys are also going through a lot of stuff too in their personal life. And that actually took me down a couple of notches on like the amount of anger and hatred that I have with all of this race baiting and bullshit that's been going on. But this still needs to be touched on.
Yeah.
There's a show called Shogun. In the show, you're in Japan in the feudal era during the height of a shogun empire. Why are people mad because there are no black people in the show?
Where are all the black people?
We're in Japan. Height of the shogun empire era, right? Japan. Like, we're not talking about Japan now, where there's actually a few black people there.
A few.
Like maybe like 1,000.
At best, there might actually be. Have you ever seen the Ultimate Darky? What? What the Darky? What? Anyway,
greatest gamer.
I'm upset because like a lot of the race baiting really comes down to everyone feels like they need to insert themselves into certain things, and they don't need to. It's not necessary. It's like you don't need to have inclusion in everything. All right, guys. Like I never grew up in a time where I thought to myself, man, I wish Harry Potter was black. I never once watched Lord of the Rings and asked myself, where are all the black people? I never.
That's like going to Dragon Ball Z.
Like, that's perfect. Every kid in the late 90s and early 2000s watched the shit out of Dragon Ball Z. We were too busy trying to figure out whether or not we had Saiyan blood. We didn't give a fuck about the color of the skin. No one said it. Yeah. Like, hell, the closest thing we had to, two closest things, I guess you could say, we had to black people was Mr. Popo and fucking Piccolo.
And it's funny because like Piccolo's not even, he's just that black Air Force energy. But here's the thing, like, everybody liked that shit.
Yeah, like
because everyone said, man, Piccolo said, no, man, like he's him. Like
he is though.
Right?
And even then, for being honest, Vegeta's the bigger him because he's a dick. But the point stands. Piccolo just had the vibe.
Yeah, he really did.
I'm not gonna lie, Piccolo has more wins than Vegeta though.
I mean, yeah.
Like no. Like you really go back to like from Dragon Ball up to the point now. I feel like Piccolo's got way more wins than Vegeta, and it's crazy because they never fought. But I'm trying to go off the tangent here, but let me go back to this. The reason why I'm going back to the Shogun show, because this is where we are with this situation. Shogun is a show in Japan in the feudal era, in the height of the Shogun Empire. Black people shouldn't be here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there's a reverse. There's a Uno reverse on this, where there's black people involved, and the stupid crowd complained that the black people in there, that there shouldn't be black people. Well, look, this is what I'm bringing up. So we go from Shogun to Resident Evil 5.
Oh my god, that shit.
Now, mind you, Shogun, no black people. People complaining. Resident Evil 5. Black people in Africa. First of all, they're not black. They're Africans. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Africans don't like being called black people because that's a term only for Americans.
Actually,
not for Africans.
If
the people in Africans, they like to be called Nigerians. They like to be called, basically wherever they're from, they like to be called black. They don't like to be called black.
And if I might add to my Latinian brothers, they also vouch the same for, my Black Mexican brothers and my Jamaican brothers and everybody else from down there. They also agree with that sentiment. They do not identify as Black. They identify where they come from. So very thank you for that as well. Continue.
Now, with this being said, a complaint that somebody from IGN had was they should never remake Resident Evil 5 because you play a white man shooting black people.
No way. No way.
Resident Evil 5. There's two characters you play. You play Chris Redfield and a character who derives from the place where you're playing at, named Sheva. She's not white. She is considered the main character, and she is not white. For some reason, they forgot about this part and only pinned it as you only play Chris Redfield, and you are the only person who's a white guy, and you're only shooting black people. Now, this is a fallacy, ladies and gentlemen. This is what race baiting is. You try to point something out that isn't really there to cause controversy. Now, Chris Redfield is a character that, if you didn't know, in Raccoon City, which is in the United States, whole situation happened out there. He was a part of it. This is why we're here in the 5th game going after more zombies and shit. Now, my issue with this entire situation is it should be a game that's remade simply just because the co-op itself, the couch co-op is amazing in that game. I don't know if you guys ever played Resident Evil 5. The couch co-op is actually great.
Yeah, with my cousin. It was legit great.
I would love for it to be remade only for the couch co-op. In fact, everything else I can't even care. But anything that retains like a couch co-op experience where you're able to sit, where it's like you and your kids, or you and your buddies, or you and your significant other, you can sit there and play games together. I'm always for that, no matter what.
They better make it.
But when you take an article and you try to turn it into a more, and they do this all the time, where it's like, oh, Japan's so racist. It's like, y'all really don't understand just how universal these Japanese games are. And that goes for all of the games that you guys can play. Oh my god, they don't show Eddie. How come they don't show Eddie? They must be racist.
That was so retarded.
Oh man, even more.
Wait,
oh man, there's not enough black people in Street Fighter. Oh my god, the only one black person in Devil May Cry wasn't even a black person. It was actually just a white character in blackface. Are we retarded?
And here's the thing, right? Like, because chat brought it up, and I wanted to get a chance when he was all good. Like you said, you pick one thing that isn't even there. One thing they said, oh, there should be black people in Japan. What about the Yosuke, the black samurai? First of all, he was a retainer, not a samurai. The samurai was just a nickname. And second, that's later. That's in the Sengoku era. Like, it just shows you that you don't know Japanese history at all. They want to stretch one thing into another thing. And to me, like, as far as like the Resident Evil 5 thing, like, I'm gonna keep you. I don't care. Like, I already thought Resident Evil 4 reimagining was bad. Like, everyone calls them remakes. You're all fucking idiots. It's a reimagining. The director said it. I know it. The director's an asshole. I've already said this again. And fun fact, they didn't even want to reimagine 4. They don't want to reimagine 5. Let that sink in. I actually don't think they're going to reimagine 5. And from leaks that I've seen, there is no mention of an RE5 reimagining. So let that sink in. The dev team actually doesn't want to do reimaginings. The director doesn't want to touch it because he's a woke idiot. So the likelihood, the only thing is, Capcom for sure wants to do it purely for the money. So that's why it's very 50-50. Like, everything's pointing to no, but at the end of the day, Capcom likes money, and the reimaginings at the end of the day, they are selling. Me personally, I don't even care for, like, I'm already disappointed before. 5 is my favorite game. You guys, I didn't even say shit like, homie, I would not be where I'm at if it wasn't for Resident Evil 5. Like, I suck that game's dick to this day. I don't even want to touch the reimagining. I've already seen people who love 3. They can't stand 3, and the reimagining of 3 is my favorite one, but I could see why they fucking can't stand it. It's like, I'm like, dude, there's no way in hell I could pay even more than... No, it'll be on Game Pass, and then I could be less pissed. But I refuse to give money for them spinning on one of my favorite games of all time. Like, for me personally, I'm just too attached to a fan. Like, to me, it means way too much, and where I am as a gamer, like, I don't even want to hear shit. I don't want to see anything. I'm gonna get too butthurt because like, dude, Sheva's one of the greatest. Like, low key, there's a moment I won't spoil it, but there was a moment that with Sheva, that shit hit, bro. Wesker is one of my favorite villains to this motherfucking day. That game means so much to me, and they're going to fucking butcher the shit out of it, gameplay and story wise. And that's why, like, no, I can't touch it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't. You know, it's like seeing your baby get. Good example. The directors for Resident Evil, one of them was it Shinji Mikami. He never played a Resident Evil game he's never made. He finally played 5 after 14 years, and even he was like, you know what, this is actually pretty good. And let that sink. That's someone from the creator. I have the same mindset. That's what it's like when you're truly passionate, man. You can't stand someone truly to spit on your shit. And the dude agreed because the other guy was a co-director, Hideki Kamiya, and they had disagreements. And he's like, you know what? I think he ended off the series not half bad. You know? And I agree. I think Resident Evil should have just stopped at 5 outside of Revelations 2, which is the exception. Same with Revelations 1. No, I'm gonna be honest. Resident Evil 5 was, like, in my opinion, the last really good RE game. RE6 is good for mercenaries, but not a great RE in story or anything else. But it had a lot of potential. After that, 7 or whatever it's called, garbage. Village better, but it gives me a fucking headache. Still garbage. The new one, 9 or whatever, it's gonna be Omega garbage. Like right now, anyone knows me as a Resident Evil fan, and a lot of you guys see my huge Resident Evil fan base in my YouTube. We kind of at this point we gave up. We're treating it like Star Wars. Like to you guys normies, hey, have fun. As long as it gets you to the old series, we're happy. But to us, we've been spit in the face way too much to be like, yeah, no. Oh, Resident Evil 4 reimagining. Oh, we're not gonna cut so much content. Oh, Ada separate ways. We're gonna charge. I'm like, you're already charging $70 and cutting content for this mediocre garbage. That this is a dude who went to. I still gotta work on my review, so I'm not gonna talk about RE4 reimagining. But it's like, just no. So the fact that this whole controversy said that's its own thing, right? IGN and whatever, because they're fucking morons. And here's the last part to end the sweet note is that Chris was originally, I mean, it was rumored that he was going to be in the trailers. It was just him. And then they added Sheva so they wouldn't get controversy. But it's just a rumor. I don't know what is true, but it shows you the character. And then a lot of they had an interview, and even the voice actress and the model actress was like, oh no, this game is not racist or anything. If you guys actually get it, there's culture, this and that, like, you know, they're getting into it. And even other people they were talking to. And I even have the director's cut. And no, you can feel the passion. Like the thing, this is what Japanese games, you guys want to know why they're not as racist? Think about it. You've been cut off for years, and then you go into the new generation and technology. You want to see these other cultures. Street Fighter 2 is the epitome of that. Some of them can be archetypal, or maybe a bit racist. There's a dude who even but here's the thing. Japan cared so much. But here's the thing. They were fair. They like, we know we're gonna have a stereotypical sumo wrestler and a stereotypical Japanese guy. It's fair. They acknowledged that they didn't know much about the world. But every time they had a new character, they decided to go more and more knowledgeable. And one of the best examples is T-Hop. Like everything, oh, he's stereotypical, but they hired an actual Native American to give their critique. It's like, no, don't do this headband because that's for chiefs. And they don't go out like that. So that's why he doesn't have the stereotypical, you know, giant head. And he's right. So and that's why they've got better. And even in Street Fighter 6, Luke, Kimberly, and Jamie had people were saying, oh, their work because they had people approve if they're Asian. No, they had actual people who look at people's faces and who's had statistics. And yeah, I like Kimberly. She's one of my favorite representations of a black girl in a game or an anime. Sometimes they'll go too stereotypical. You guys know what I'm saying? Like they'll always go, oh, maybe big booty bitch or some shit, or bad bitch, or, you know, just stereotype. But no, she looks like a regular, like a cute little girl with dreads, right? Then she grows up. Maybe like Mars Dara, you know, they have dreads and they have cute cheeks, and then she grows up. That's what she look like. You never see black girls like that. Ever. And then Luke does look like a generic white guy, but an accurate generic white guy. You know? Like, they actually, like, the Japanese people are like, yeah, they're ignorant, but not out of choice, you know? Yeah. And they want to get better, and that's why their games are so good. Street Fighter 2, that's why people say, I agree, Street Fighter should not be called Street Fighter. It should be called the World Warrior. Because look at it. Everybody comes from a different part of the world. Some might be a huge stereotype or this and that, but guess what? They give them character. You can tell they put a lot of love into them. Yeah. And they actually learn about a lot of the culture. A good example, Hakan, kind of racist, right? Like, oh, he's red, oily, and everything. Man's got a family, he's got story, you know? And even people have said, good example, like, this is the thing I love about Street Fighter started too. How many of us made a character that's not even our fucking race? Almost everyone I've ever met. I have never, like, good example, I picked up Miguel. I don't think, oh, because he's Spanish or Mexican. The King too. I don't mean either of them. You know, like, I like them. I initially picked them, oh, because, you know, my race, but in reality, I'm like, I'm gonna choose this white Swedish dude. I'm gonna choose the Japanese motherfucker. Yo, man, fucking, like, for example, some of my favorite characters. I love Jax, black. Oh, Sean, black. Eddie Gordo, cool, black. You know, like, yeah. I tend to, like, it's weird. I choose fuckers who are whiter than me and blacker than me than fuckers who are my color. You know, so, like, anyone who are on this race meeting shit, like, this is why Japan, because I get it. I get that passion and soul. You want to see...
Oh, you don't... in, man, because in Resident Evil 5, you play a white cop, and as the white cop, your main mission is to shoot all the black cops.
Hey,
So you go to Africa, and then you take your gun, and you load it with black bullets, and then you kill
ooh,
all of them.
God damn. You see, look, he's black, so I'm not in trouble for that one. No.
Yeah,
Hey,
Twitch
Look,
chill.
and you know
no,
what?
no, no.
Go
As the
continue.
black person in the group, I do want to bring this
No, no,
up.
no.
Hey, what about me?
See, you got me. Well, see,
I didn't even
no.
get to see that article either, though.
So the topic was getting so good. The issues, I don't know what happened to the rest of it. It's not my fault. I will blame this on the greatest gamer. I don't know actually what happened. All I do know is that yeah, this hot pick was pretty heated. I understand that you know, we gotta work better as a gaming community to make sure things are going as, you know, less race baiting. Just get that as the message for the rest of the video, and yeah.
So ways no trust is left is gone. Yeah, it's gone. Might as well speed up. Open the legs, I might as well beat up. Yeah, love the money, I never could get enough. I'm in your head, I might as well call you bluff. You're not as hot as me, I got the heat though. No. Talking down on me, you still beneath. No. I know it's hard to believe I play for keeps though. Puff up past that tree, we can't disagree. She get on her knees, she got a degree. Swimming 7 seas, but I'm still floating though.